some people at a certain point in their life, they just stop getting pleasure from S.E.X. And, I think that with everything that he'd been through, all the Pootie monsters, all the, the poundings and the beatings and the shower with Undertaker, maybe S.E.X. just wasn't something that he would, get any gratification from anymore.
It's hardcore. It's uncensored. It's On Your Mark with Mark E. Xtreme.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around because it's my favorite time of the week, and I hope it's yours too. It is On Your Mark Wrestling Podcast. Yes, I am Skeeter Skyflyer. I'll be your co-host, walking you through all this and celebrating wrestling and all the fun things in it. And someday I hope to be a wrestler as well, but I'll never be the wrestler that this man is. He's a champion. He's my bestest friend. He's extreme. And also, he shakes hands real hard. So if you shake his hand ever, you might get broken fingers. Marky Xtreme.
Damn right, I shake hands hard. I'm just a mound of muscle. And Skeeter, I hate to break it to you, you're never going to be a wrestler, but you know what you are going to be? You're always going to be a constant failure.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark. Xtreme, 15 plus years, undefeated backyard wrestling entertainment champion and owner, and on top of all that, smooth ass, sexy ass, funky ass shit, I am the host of On Your Mark, and for years we've been giving you the best wrestling content on YouTube, and you know what, now we're giving you the best wrestling podcast on the audio airwaves, beginning of every Wednesday via Dragon Wagon Radio. You're getting a deep dive, uncensored look at some of wrestling's sometimes stupid topics, but you're getting a perspective and a look that you've never gotten before. You think Kurt Angle, you think Eric Bischoff, you think Chris Jericho's giving you perspectives like you could never get. Hell no, bitch! There ain't nobody like me that can give you this kind of perspective, because there ain't nobody that's seen the things that I've seen. There ain't nobody that's done the things I've done, and there ain't nobody that's fucked the things I've fucked. I am the 15 plus year undefeated champion, Mark E. Xtreme.
And we have an amazing show lined up for you this week. But first, we got a little business to attend to. Thank you to Dragon Wagon Radio for hosting the show. You can get this show as well as many other great podcasts on that network, so be sure to check that out. And also, Apple Podcasts. Go on there, rate and review the show. You go and do that, you are automatically entered to possibly win a free t-shirt, because we give those out every so often for our favorite rate and reviews, and hopefully we'll be doing another one here soon, because episode 50 is coming up. This is episode 48, Marky Xtreme. I think the audio came in a little distorted on that. That was hard to hear. So be sure to do that. That helps out the show a great deal. Also, what helps out a whole lot is go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/OYM show, and you can become a Patreon member and get all kinds of exclusive content. You can get a replica BWE Championship title. You can watch all the Extreme watch-alongs where Marky Xtreme and I watch matches together, and you can even get an Extreme shout-out on the show. Isn't that right, Marky Xtreme?
That's right. It's one of the best and most valuable perks as part of being a Patreon over a skid mark over on our Patreon page. And the and the shout outs this week are as follows: Bruce Harmeyer, Melissa Mayette, Jason K, Lame Brain, Flocka 171AC, Dylan Hinton, Tim Redbeard, Spot the Magic Ninja, Liam McLee, Rick Conley, Tom, Angela Elias, Mr. Blix, and Miguel Diaz. Up there you have it, Skeeter. Those are the skid marks that keep the roof over the backyard and the food on the table before I body slam motherfuckers through it. And if you want to become a part of that prestigious list that's cooler than the Bullet Club and too sweeter than the NWO, then march your happy ass on over to patreon.com/OIM show.
This week, Marky Xtreme, we're talking all about David Flair.
Ha! Really?
Yeah.
You're not giving me some, oh man, this is fucking, I'm all about this, man. God dang David Flair. Woo!
Nature Boy's boy, and fucking banging some of the hottest and god dang fucking legend in this business.
David Flair's pretty great. I was worried you might be upset for a second.
Oh, hell no. I have more in common than you may know with David Flair. I'm a son of a legend, and I'm banging them all and getting all of it.
Getting all of what?
All of it, baby.
All of a baby?
No, just a guy. David Flair is the man. He's a legend. He gets anything he wants. The Nature Boy's boy, and he fucking's the man.
So he gets a man or a baby?
Fuck off. Continue.
Born David Richard Flair on March 6, 1979 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Growing up, David never wanted to become a wrestler. He always wanted to be a state trooper. That's so cool. I also love Star Wars, but I don't think I'd want to be one of the state troopers. I think I'd rather be Duke Skywalker or Chewbacca. Who would you want to be in Star Wars, Marky Xtreme?
A state trooper? You are so fucking stupid. It's a Stormtroopers that was in Star Wars, you dumbass. I don't even know. I've never even seen it, and I didn't know that. State trooper's a police officer.
No, that's a big boss man.
I'm not even gonna put any effort into trying to fucking explain this one to you.
But who would you be in the Star Wars?
Gun to my head. Probably Princess Leia.
For real?
Hey, if I had a day to feel what tits on my own body feel like, I would do that. She's hot. She was hot as hell.
She's also got buns on her head.
Yeah, even better. What's in those buns? I want to know.
I think hair.
That's arguable. You do know that? I mean, I always check what's inside my fucking pastry.
What is on her head? And it looks like it's her hair in her head, but those
are buns. They could be pastries. You don't know that.
You think them cinnamon rolls on her heads?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man, Star Wars is just gets better all the time. David Flair chose to follow in his father's footsteps rather than go into Star Wars and become a wrestler. David Flair trained at WCW's power plant, and years later, David's half-sister, Charlotte Flair, trained at the WWE Performance Center. Marky Xtreme, which wrestling school made the better wrestler?
I mean, I'm always, of those two, I'm of course partial to Backyard Wrestling Academy for, grooming the future of this business. But of those two, the fucking power plant, man, you got to think about the people that came out of the power plant. Fucking Goldberg and David Flair and who else came out of the power plant?
Mark Jindrak
and fucking Kiwi, goddamn legends in this business. And, so look at the people that the power plant put out, and you ain't got fucking bubblegum titty fart training happening at the power plant. They were, it's like boot camp. That's how I train.
So you're saying David Flair is a better wrestler than Charlotte Flair?
100%. And this, it's not a man and woman thing. This is just bare bones, brass tacks, getting your balls on the ground, fucking, who's better wrestler. And I think you put David Flair's balls on the ground, Charlotte's balls on the ground, you got the fucking David's probably is a way better wrestler.
Well, there you have, folks. See, this is why people come to this show, because they want to hear a champion's perspective on it, because a lot of fans on the internet say that Charlotte Flair's a better wrestler.
Yeah, well, that's their false opinions, and my factual opinion is always right.
Why are David Flair's cheeks so red?
I've always wondered this, and I don't think that it was anything. I think it was a makeup choice. A lot of guys go out there and put paint on their face, and a lot of guys go out there and fucking dye their hair funny colors or all kinds of things like that. But David Flair made the choice to put some makeup on, make his cheeks all rosy and cute. And, I thought it was really cute. And, I think that it added to his character, a little shy boy that gets all the ladies.
Have you ever thought about making your cheeks red?
I have, but I don't steal people's gimmicks.
What if they were naturally red? Like, what if I said, Marky Xtreme, you look cute today?
Oh, God. That's making me get a negative pink cheek. That's making me get a negative erection and fucking don't ever fucking flirt with me.
Oh, Marky Xtreme, your muscles are so big.
Stop. That's weird.
Yeah, you're scowling and not
okay. You're
not blushing at all.
I'm gonna, when I take my dick pills and I need to lose my erection, I'm gonna use that audio. Thank you, and feel free to do the same, listeners at home.
Yeah, you're welcome. Feel free to use this audio for whatever medical purposes you need. David Flair teamed up with his father in his debut match at WCW NWO Sold Out on January 17th, 1999. They wrestled Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham and won the match. After the match, the entire NWO came out and Hollywood Hulk Hogan whipped David Flair with his belt until David's back and stomach was full of welts, while his father, Rick, was helpless and handcuffed to the ring ropes. In his autobiography, Ric Flair alleges that Hogan took liberties with his son by whipping him far more times than they agreed upon, and that he would never forgive Hogan for this. To his credit, David took the punishment without complaint, both in the ring and backstage. Marky Xtreme, was Hogan in the right? Do you believe rookies and new wrestlers should be Michael Hayes'd?
Absolutely. I think that, I agree with, I don't know if you heard about this recently, but Undertaker made sentiments and statements that that the wrestlers are soft these days,
Yeah, that's what Enzo Amore says. They soft.
It's two different kinds of soft. But I think that how do you expect to be a wrestler if you're soft all the time? I think you need to go out there and you need to work on being harder. And, I agree. It starts with, hazing, it starts with fucking, all kinds of things like that. This is just a generation of soft. And I think that, we need to work on getting harder.
But does Michael hazing go too far sometimes?
Fuck no. Doesn't go far enough. I obviously haze my rookies, don't I?
Yeah, you constantly Michael haze all your rookies.
Yeah.
But it makes people cry sometimes and also ends up with broken bones or burns.
What's something bad? Tell me what's so bad about what I've done.
Well, there's that one time you put you wrapped up an M80 in bacon and you gave it to Yokozuna.
Yep. Now, he had a little bit of diarrhea, but do you think that caused that fucking fat ass that much damage in there? Probably burned away some of the fat. I probably did him a favor.
Well, I was excited to see because I thought it might be like a cartoon where his belly would get real big upon the explosion.
I did too.
But that's not what happened. You laughed a lot. I giggled a little bit until I saw all the blood that came out of his mouth
and butthole.
Yeah, because it was a lot of blood. And I didn't even hear the explosion.
I look at the blood as burned fat. That's the quickest way to burn fat is to eat bacon wrapped M80s. And that's something my grandpa taught me, and I still to this day, every couple months I need to burn some fat. I eat a bacon wrapped M80.
On February 21st at Super Brawl IX, David turned on his father and joined the NWO Elite.
Yeah.
He used a taser on his father to help Hollywood Hulk Hogan win the WCW World Title match. Now, I can't keep track of all the NWOs. NWO Elite, is that the one that Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the Young Bucks are in?
No, that not even comparison. And then back, fucking
NWO was too sweet that they needed all the different versions. NWO Wolfpack, NWO Black and White, NWO Elite, NWO B Team, NWO Latinos, NWO Bret Hart Pink and Black, OWN, all of them fucking awesome. And I can't wait for them to come back.
But they are back. That's what's happening on AEW right now. It's Kenny Omega, Don
It's not
Callis.
the NWO. That's Bullet Club groups.
But the Elite, and they throw up the two sweets. So I think that's MWO Elite.
Yeah, Bullet Club did the Too Sweet too. Remember when I was with the Young Bucks?
Yeah. So ain't you all in the NWO Elite?
That's not how it works. Hey, just stay in the kiddie pool, okay, and let the big boys swim in the deep end, okay? You don't know anything
I'm a
about
big boy.
Fuck you.
I am though.
I hate you.
Love you. David Flair started to wrestle full-time in WCW in May 1999. He made up with his father, who then had the Four Horsemen help David win his matches. Now, how do you make up with your father after you taser him? Would you forgive me if I tasered you, Marky Xtreme?
Hell fucking no. I'd ruin your life. I would make sure that you never had a normal life ever again. I would ruin your credit. I would fucking get you arrested. I would fucking, every day shit in your bed. I wouldn't even use a bathroom anymore. All my defecations and urinations would be in your bed. And that's just the beginning of it. So if you dare try to taser me, be prepared.
Well, okay, I'm not going to do that, but that leads me to wondering, how does Ric Flair then forgive David? If you're that vindictive and mad, this actually happened. What I said was a make-believe.
Sure. Well, I think you gotta imagine that being family has something to do with it. And you and I are not anywhere close on the same, gene pool. I wouldn't even consider you a real human, So I think being family probably has something to do with it. You fight with your family, and that, but you always forgive and forget.
Forget what?
Forget it. Don't just continue. I'm exhausted.
Ric Flair, being the WCW president, stripped WCW United States champion Scott Steiner of his title and awarded it to his son David Flair. But then in August, Rick had real-life problems with Eric Bischoff backstage and was removed from television. David was left on his own and lost his United States Championship to Chris Benoit on August 9th. And it sounds like David Flair wasn't ready for these big matches with Steiner and Benoit. Do you think David Flair really graduated from the WCW power plant?
Do you think he's lying about it?
I mean, I never saw him come out with a diploma.
I mean, I'm sure it exists. Like, I don't think you can lie about that kind of thing. Somebody's going to find out, and it's against the law too. I mean, why would he lie about that? What does he have to benefit?
I'm saying he didn't even fight Scott Steiner. His dad just took the title away from him, and then he fights Chris Benoit, loses right away.
I mean, I will say this. Yes, legend in this business, but for different reasons. In my opinion, he's a legend, a Pootie Monster. And I think that, that's what makes him special. I mean, I don't know if you're going to dive into it or you want me to save this, but just the ladies that he's, pootied is Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson. Come on. That's what makes him legend. It doesn't fucking matter how many wins and losses he has.
Wait, what's more important then? Wins and losses or being friends with a Pootie Monster, as you say?
That's the question that riddles the man of time, Skeeter, is, I wake up every day and it's different, but to me, I'm able to be both. I'm able to be a champion undefeated and a champion of a Pootie Monster. And, that's not a common thing, but I'm not a common man.
Neither's Dusty Rhodes. It's in a song.
Amen, sister.
So what's a Pootie Monster?
I've tried to explain this to you so many times, and it's a vagina, Skeeter.
A monster?
Sometimes you got to fight it. Sometimes you got to battle it to win it.
I don't know. This sounds kind of scary.
It probably would be for you.
What do you fight the monster with?
The mighty sword.
You fight a pooty monster with a sword?
My mighty sword.
Can I see your sword?
No, you can't see my... No, stop. No.
Can I hold it? I won't look at it. Can I hold it?
No, you can't hold my fucking sword.
What? You won't let me play with toys? Can I play with a sword?
If I put my sword anywhere near you, I would fucking stab your eye out.
Okay, well,
That'd be the first thing I did.
I'll keep my eyes shut, and then I won't stab my eyes out.
Good. I'd find a way.
Well, what if I wore like an Oculus over my eyes?
It would rip it off and fucking dive into your eye on its own. It's got a mind of its own.
The sword has a mind of its own?
Yep.
Is it like the Thundercat sword?
A little bit.
Lionel wears a special glove to hold it. Maybe I just need a special glove.
Yeah, that helps. I don't use gloves.
Well, would you be willing to let one of the listeners hold on to your sword?
I don't think that I have the legal right to let that happen.
Can you put out a picture on Twitter?
Nope. I want to keep up my Twitter.
Can you show your sword on TikTok?
That is unconfirmed.
Can you pull out your sword during a shoot interview?
We've tried that before, and what happened?
All the cameras fell down and somebody screamed.
Yep. And so, nope.
I really want to play with this sword.
Not letting you play with my sword.
Things took a turn for David Flair after seeing his father, Ric Flair, attacked by Diamond Dallas Page. David then went crazy. He attacked DDP, Bam 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 Bigelow, and others with a crowbar. But then things calmed down and David Flair got his head on straight and started stalking Kimberly Page. I think this is a very respectful thing of David Flair to do. Mark Xtreme, who would you stalk in wrestling?
I mean, I wouldn't stalk anybody because I wouldn't have to. If I when I get the opportunity to, approach consensually Nia Jax, I'm going to approach her, not follow her, stalk her because I won't need to. And I will profess and propose to her on the spot right when I meet her, and you know what? I'll be, not wearing is one of the Toll Ride t-shirts over at the Dragon Wagon podcast shirt shop. Skeeter, tell the fine listeners at home about some of the ridiculous shirts at the Dragon Wagon shirt shop at OnYourMarkShow.com.
Oh, you can find all kinds of great shirts there. There's a lot of podcast themed stuff. You can get the logo of his shirt on a shirt. You can get it on a mug. You can also get it on a mask in case you want to be a luchador. You can also get the hot selling Toll Ride shirt. That's right. We've heard from Dragon Wagon Radio that this shirt's selling like the New Day hotcakes, and people want it left and right. And you can get yours there, and you can choose many different colors for all these shirts there available on OnYourMarkShow.com. You just click on the shop, and you'll find everything right there. Now, why do you say that stalking is bad? Hit up your Bing box just like me, everybody, to see how Bing defines stalking. Pursue or approach stealthily. An example is a cat stalking a bird.
That's creepy.
That's just like a surprise party waiting to happen. You're just being quiet and ready to go, surprise, we friends.
Why do you think every girl you approach, or everybody, not just girl, everybody that you don't know and you approach in that weird way, like I've told you, that weird way, Skeeter, that's stalking, and that's weird, and it creeps people out.
People love surprise parties, Marky Xtreme. So when I approach and hide in bushes or hide in some boxes or
Jump out of trees.
Jump out of a tree. That is me not only showing my future cruiserweight skills, that's also me going, surprise! We're friends. I've been watching you for a long time, and I want to be a friend.
And how has every one of those occasions gone?
Well, first off, they've been surprised. So mission accomplished right there. But there's usually, they back away or they run. And that just means like you got to keep chasing like a cat stalks a bird because the bird will fly away. But that means, let's go run and play chase. But I don't have good cardio because we never work on cardio in Backyard Wrestling Academy. So I can't catch up to them.
Stop doing it, Skeeter. I'm trying to, one thing I'm trying to look out for you for is stop stalking people.
I just need better cardio.
Well, we don't do that at Backyard Wrestling Academy. It's pointless.
Yeah. Well, speaking of friends, David Flair was joined by Daphne at Starrcade in 1999, and shortly after that, by Crowbar. David Flair and Crowbar became a tag team and won the vacant WCW World Tag Team titles in a tournament final on January 3rd, 2000 over Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner with Arn Anderson as a special guest referee. But later, they lost the titles to Big Vito and Johnny the Bull, the Marmadukes, on January 19th. Flair and Crowbar split up at WCW New Blood. Was this a mistake by David Flair to not remain in a tag team with Crowbar? They already won the tag team titles.
I think that he knew he was meant for better. I don't fucking know. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think he really cared that much about wrestling as all the goddamn pooty he was getting.
But he didn't even have a sword. He had a crowbar. Does a crowbar work on a pooty monster?
It can. Everybody has a different weapon.
What weapon should I use?
What weapon should you use, or what weapon do you have to use?
Well, I guess I got my hat. Would my hat work as a weapon?
Kind of looks like a fucking hat.
My hat looks like a hat?
No, your weapon looks like a hat.
Well, Jim Cornette, I know, says that's a bad thing to put a hat on a hat.
Mm-hmm.
He says in wrestling, that's the one thing you don't want to do. Don't put a hat on a hat.
Yeah, well, listen to your elders.
So I shouldn't use my hat?
You don't have a choice.
Oh. At WCW Great American Bash 2000, David Flair had the biggest match of his career against his father, Ric Flair. The stakes were high, and if David wins, Ric Flair would have to end his career. Even though David had his new surrogate father, Vince Russo, in his corner, he couldn't get the job done. But then, the next night on Nitro, it was a rematch. A handicap match, Ric Flair versus David Flair and Vince Russo. Ric Flair and Vince Russo's career were on the line. This time, David Flair got the job done. Not only did David Flair win with the help of his new dad, Vince Russo, but he and Russo shaved Ric's head, and they also shaved Reed Flair's head with the entire Flair family in attendance looking on. Now, why is this forgotten? The WWE rewrote history 8 years later with Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24, but David Flair did it first in what many argue to be a way better match with handcuffs, baseball bats, and children getting beaten up. So, Marky Xtreme, why didn't Ric Flair retire here? David Flair did it. Isn't this the law?
Well, wrestling retirement law is very different from legal law retirement. In world law, if you vocally state that you're retiring, you have to stay retired. But in wrestling law, it falls under the Terry Flunk clause, and you can, therefore, if the money's right, come out of retirement whenever you want. That is wrestling law. It's two different things.
Oh. But if Vince Russo was running the show, doesn't he throw down extra law?
Well, I mean, Vince Russo, once he comes into the picture, a lot of laws get thrown out the window. And that's what the perk of having Vince Russo as part of your company.
Well, which match do you think was better? Do you think it was Vince Russo and David Flair versus Ric Flair? Or was it Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania?
It's a very close. It's hard for me to call. I mean, all legends. It's very close, but I would probably have to pick Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Very close, though. Very fucking close.
Well, David Flair was now his own man, and he not only split from Crowbar, his father Ric Flair, but even from Daphne. But David found a new lady in Stacy Keibler. All right, let's get into it, Mark Xtreme. Tell me about all these ladies and these pootie monsters, as you put it.
Oh, man. Well, let's just say they don't make them like they used to, man. God dang it. Fucking remember when Stacy Keibler would get on the table and start dancing as Mrs. Hancock? And you're just like, oh, Hancock, I get it. And, fucking you got Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson. And fuck, I bet he banged all the pootie monsters. I bet he banged every pootie monster.
Isn't that dangerous?
It can be. If you don't know what you're doing. If you don't have protections.
What can he use to protect himself?
There's a shield, Skeeter. It's a shield.
Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins.
Some armor. Not that shield, but some armor, a shield. There's sprays. There's fucking sheets. There's nets. All kinds of things. Damn.
What would you rather be known for, Marky Xtreme? The ladies that you're with or your wrestling legacy?
Oh, man, that's really the question that you got to ask yourself at the end of the day, and that's something that Ric Flair is asked constantly. And, luckily for somebody like in Flair, and, obviously there's the possibility we could dive into this too, that Flair could be my dad. That's on the table. And David Flair could be my brother. The fortunate of being in the Flair family is you get to have both. You get to have the legacy and you get to have the ladies and both, you're known for both.
Well, okay. So David Flair was with Stacy Keibler and they were hot and heavy. And then it was revealed on WCW television that Stacy was preggers. But they said that David was not the father. This led to Flair trying to figure out who the father was with the help of Rick, but who he made up with along with Arn Anderson. And they even had a match with Bob Bagwell to get Bagwell's DNA, but things ended when Miss Hancock showed up with Shawn the Star Stasiak and a baby carriage in the ring. And instead of a baby, they revealed that it was just a bunch of 8x10 pictures of Shawn in the carriage. Marky Xtreme, I got to thinking, you don't think that David Flair and Stacy Keibler actually had a secret baby that they gave up for adoption that grew up to be WWE wrestler Lacey Evans? Because Lacey Evans just got preggers by Ric Flair, David's father, which would mean that Ric Flair preggers his granddaughter.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Incest is illegal and there's no fucking way that that's what's happening. Do you think that that's what's happening?
Where did that baby go?
It's a good point. Fuck, man. That would be fucking crazy. And disgusting. And fuck, I hope I'm not part of that family. As much as I want to be. If that's the truth, I can't be a part of that shit.
I don't know of anything that can prove that theory to not be true.
I'm sick to my stomach thinking about that. Ugh.
But wouldn't that kid be a great wrestler, though?
Be a great wrestler, but it'd have a few fucking screws loose. We have an inbred and backyard wrestling entertainment, and you've seen him.
Yeah, it's one of them monkey lloids.
I'm not going to correct you for so I don't get canceled, but I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a fucking lot.
Who is your favorite girlfriend of David Flair's?
Thank you for shifting my thoughts here. It'd probably have to be, fucking Stacy Keibler, Miss Hancock. Whew, gosh, dang it. If I had $20 and fucking 1080, I would go and I'd take a TV off the wall and fucking take some duct tape and I'd tell everybody to go on vacation for about 3 weeks and don't ever send another letter that tells me I owe any taxes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think I followed a word of that.
And speaking of coleslaw, Skeeter, this is a perfect opportunity to tell the fine listeners about our second sponsor for the day, Hillbilly Tim's Coleslaw Shop. Skeeter Skyflyer, tell fine listeners about Hillbilly Tim's Coleslaw Shop.
Oh, I know there's been a lot of trouble over the world lately, and Texas has been having some issues with the weather. But that's one thing you don't have to worry about at Hillbilly Tim's Coleslaw Shop, where the coleslaw is any temperature you want it to be. That's right. Now, coleslaw coming in frozen, cold, room temperature, warm, and even blazing hot. Hillbilly Tim's Coleslaw Shack does it all. For whatever mood you're in or whatever the weather's like, he will accommodate you and get you the coleslaw that you need at the temperature you want it.
That's right. That the only coleslaw shop specifically sells only coleslaw shop in the entire world. And there's a reason for that, because nobody makes coleslaw like Hillbilly Tim. So march on down to bring your happy ass to Hillbilly Tim's Coleslaw Shop.
We wouldn't see David Flair wrestle in a WCW ring ever again after that. Did the WCW star of David Flair burn twice as bright, burn out twice as fast?
You could maybe say that. I mean, I will tell you from personal experience, it's hard to come in this business as hot as, someone like he did and as I did, and, maintain that heat, and I've been able to do it for all these years. But, somebody like him, it's very often that a bright star burns out its quickest. That's what they always say. And, I just, at least we got him while we did.
Toll ride.
What?
I toll rided it.
I didn't hear anything.
I said it. I toll rided.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm choosing not to acknowledge it.
Well, if you want to still copy Conrad Thompson's podcast, I'm
not copying shit. I'm doing my own fucking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but you told me to copy all the Conrad Thompson podcasts.
I never.
It's super successful.
Everybody at home, I never said this. I never said copy anybody. I said, you know what I said? Skeeter, we're going to do something original. We're going to do something that's never been done, and we're going to give people high quality entertainment like they never had before.
Yeah, we said in order to do that, you got to copy all of Conrad Thompson's stuff because he's made
that
it
is
successful.
not. You must have misunderstood me. I said don't copy. I said don't copy all the Conrad Thompson stuff. Let's not do it like exactly like he does.
Okay. Well, what do you want to talk about?
What are you talking about? Just keep doing what we're doing.
I'm copying Conrad Thompson.
We're not.
Stuff.
Just stop. Just stop. How do you not realize what you're fucking doing half the time?
With my hands?
Oh, fucking off, you jackass.
What am I doing right now? Because I think I'm
fucking my
down.
Life up.
Oh. I thought I was just sitting here listening attentively.
Yeah, and that's fucking my life up. Continue, please.
Well, there is still hope for David Flair. In May 2001, the WWF picked up Flair's WCW contract and sent him to Ohio Valley Wrestling. He did make 2 appearances on WWF TV during 2002 when he was beaten up by The Undertaker in the shower and wrestled The Undertaker on the March 14th episode of SmackDown, building up for his father's match against Undertaker at WrestleMania 18. Marky Xtreme, what would you do if The Undertaker tried to beat you up in the shower?
I'm very conflicted there because if Undertaker tried to beat me in the shower, I have a respect for the boys, so there's one side of me that would allow him to beat me until he felt like I was finished. And then there's another side of me that would probably fucking beat his ass. And, it's all, I guess, just we would have to find out in the moment. But, we'll leave that match for fantasy booking.
I'd love to see you and Undertaker fight each other in the shower.
Yep. Who wouldn't?
I'd just be worried that it'd get too slippery.
It'd get real slippery, but that's just the nature of the conditions.
Well, I feel that's a whole untapped market because you're the king of backyard wrestling, to be sure, but I've never seen any shower wrestling organization.
That's not a bad idea. Bathroom wrestling entertainment. I think there might be a market for that.
Can I be a wrestler in bathroom wrestling entertainment?
I think that if you were to ever to be a wrestler, that'd be the best place for you.
Can I be a champion?
I will consider it if I was to consider you to be a bathroom wrestling entertainment superstar.
Will you consider it?
Hey, sure, whatever.
You heard it here first, folks. I might be the first ever bathroom wrestling entertainment champion. David Flair joined Total Nonstop Action Wrestling in December 2002. He joined Vince Russo's Sports Entertainment Xtreme group, and he had a brief feud with Kurt Hennig and then left S.E.X. to form Next Generation with Brian Lawler and Eric Watts. Together, they feuded with Dusty Rhodes and even mocked him with an old NWA World Title belt. But then David Flair left TNA in early 2003, being there for only a few months. So I guess David wasn't happy. Marky Xtreme, why didn't David Flair get pleasure out of TNA with S.E.X.?
It's a very good question, Skeeter. I think that there was a lot of people in that company that did get a lot of pleasure with S.E.X., but some people at a certain point in their life, they just stopped getting pleasure from S.E.X. And I think that with everything that he'd been through, all the Pootie monsters, all the the poundings and the beatings and the shower with Undertaker, maybe S.E.X. just wasn't something that he would get any gratification from anymore.
But it seemed like, he was only with S.E.X. for like a month or two. That's hardly any S.E.X.
That's a long time that's a long period of S.E.X. Trust me.
It just seems like it'd still be so exciting and new.
Not at that point with somebody that's done as much as he's done in this business.
But that just means
maybe somebody like you who's never experienced anything. It's S.E.X. would fucking blow your mind and you would fucking lose your shit and scream like a little titty baby. But David Flair, it's just something that probably bored him, honestly.
I think even if he was bored, how exciting would that be for Brian Lawler and Eric Watts that they could be there and enjoying all of his experience and him and teaching them new moves in S.E.X. That'd be great.
Yeah, he did have a lot of guys surrounding him with that, particular S.E.X. group. But even then, all the dudes that were circling around him and, spewing him with, love and support and all the things, I still think as much as he had coming around him, I think that there was nothing that, would give him that spark anymore,
If I were David Flair, I'd be really proud to have my dad watch me in S.E.X.
Yeah. I'd love to have my dad watch me in S.E.X., and I who wouldn't, honestly, if you think about it, you'd be crazy if you didn't get excited at the thought of, going out there, being a part of S.E.X. and your dad watching from the sidelines.
Maybe he even interferes.
Yeah, maybe he could tag in. Maybe he can join in and help you beat off other people. there's all kinds of scenarios that you can do with a group like something like S.E.X. And, I think they only rub the surface of it. And I think that, I think the best is yet to come with S.E.X.
I hope you're right. Mark Xtreme's words, because I hope he's right. We're wrapping things up here, so we have to thank Dragon Wagon Radio for hosting this show in its uncensored form, and check out other shows like Elaborate, real talk and conversations with artists from all walks of life, finding common ground in the shared human experience and exploring what makes us all who we are. It's not therapy, but it's therapeutic. Marky Xtreme, do you think therapy is a good thing?
You fucking are weak ass bitch. I have a therapist, and Tammy said I needed one because she says I have anger issues, but I don't think I have fucking anger issues. It's fucking bullshit.
Also, also, if it's all right with you, Mark Xtreme, people should check out patreon.com/OYM show.
It's all right by me.
Okay. Well, you can get video and podcast episodes 2 days early, get access to Xtreme watch-alongs where Marky Xtreme and I watch the best wrestling matches together. You can get exclusive merchandise, the replica BWE Championship, and a whole lot more. So be sure to check that out. It's also a great way to support the show. And in closing, David Flair left wrestling without the wrestling community getting to say a proper goodbye. Marky Xtreme, would you like to say goodbye to David Flair?
David Flair, thank you. If you're probably listening, I just want to thank you for your contributions in this business, for all the pootie monsters you fought, and all the your brief uninterested participation with the S.E.X. group. And I think that should you ever want to come out of retirement, and I would be honored to stand toe to toe to you and with you, and let's do some business.
There you have it. Thank you so much to everyone listening, and we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Until then, bye-bye.
Dragon Wagon.